How's it going, Dave from Comic Book Investments? So CGC just raised its prices, and I think it's actually a good thing. And a lot of you are probably thinking, David, you're crazy. Why would raising prices be a good thing? So let me explain why. So let me first go through the price changes so you know what the price changes are. So modern tier used to be $25. That has moved up to $27. So $2 increase there. Vintage tier used to be 40, now it's 42, so a $2 increase there, less of a percentage increase compared to modern. And then high value went from $85 to $95. That's basically comics under $1,000. And then unlimited tier, which is pretty much anything over like $1,000, it's 4%, still 4% of the value, but the minimum went from $100 to 115, so a 15% increase. That's probably one of the biggest increases right there. So at minimum, it's going to be 4% of the value, and who puts the value? CGC puts the value. So I don't know how they come up with it. I don't know if they use the GPA or they just kind of this guess, but they put the value of what they think it is, and now it's a $15 minimum at least that you have to spend. Reholder, this is actually the most expensive. Reholders. I wonder if this has to do with their whole reholder issue scam that they had going on, that they're raising the price for this. So I don't know, makes it, maybe they've added some more due diligence. So that raised the price, because for inexpensive books, it went from $20 to $25. So that is a $5 jump, which is what, like a 25% increase from $20. So that's actually the biggest increase. The next was the expensive tier went from $50 to $75. So that is a massive, massive jump, a 50% increase. So which leads me to believe that if they're increasing, they must be doing some more due diligence. Maybe they have some other quality assurance or some types of checks to make sure that, no more reholder scams. So now, why do I think it's a good thing? So, I mean, it's good and bad. There is some bad. The prices did go up. That obviously is bad. We know that. That's surface level. But why do I think it's a good thing? The reholder going up so much, maybe that could be a good thing. I don't really know, but maybe they're adding some more due diligence like I talked about. Now, comics weren't the only thing that went up. Everything went up. Everything went up. Cards, video games, whatever else they have, movie posters, VHSs, whatever else they grade. Everything went up. So I think this could be a good thing, because I think this is a sign that the market is turning. And what do I mean by that? So about a year ago or so, CGC raised their prices to pretty much this right here. And then after a few months, they lowered their prices. They got a lot of complaints, but I'm sure internally, no one was sending them as many comic books anymore. And so they started losing revenue. So they're like, okay, whoa. We are going to back up to the old pricing. And so now the year started and they're doing this pricing. That shows me that they're probably more confident in the market going forward, that they can sustain this price increase. And if you send stuff to CGC regularly, like I do, you'll notice that probably right around October, September, they got really backed up. And they've been backed up forever. I still have stuff sitting there from August. And before that, probably the summer, I was sending in modern tier, vintage tier, any tier, and it would be graded and sent back within a month or two. Now, like I said, I have stuff since August, September, October, just sitting there. So they probably got backlog. All of a sudden, people are now sending in a ton of stuff, and they're like, okay, we need to raise our prices because we're getting so much stuff in. And they probably have better numbers than obviously we would know. But they probably look at it, it's like, okay, it's trending upward. And if you look at, at least if you look at like PSA in their cards and CGC in the cards, I try to find data on this, like how many items CGC grades like a month, but I couldn't find any data. But there is a person called GemRate, and he's able to find the data, at least on the card. And if you look at the graphs of all the cards, minus Beckett and CBCS, but everything has been going up, how many items they're grading per month. Now that has to do with cards, but I imagine it would translate the same as comics. And it's just going higher and higher and higher. So that leads me to believe that more and more people are grading, more and more people are getting stuff graded. So the market is turning back to where people are sending more stuff in. So if they're sending more stuff in, it would lead me to believe that these people, A, if you're a collector, you have more money to send in your items to get graded. Also, number two is dealers that are sending more stuff in means that stuff is moving. So you wouldn't send in something. If you have a bunch of backlog comic books or cards or whatever it is, you wouldn't send that in if you know you can't turn around and sell it. So that means that these dealers that are sending stuff in, they're turning stuff over faster. They're turning, more volume. So that means they can send more volume to these grading companies. So in terms of price going up, yeah, not great. But in terms of the market turning, which I've talked about on previous videos, about how the market is turning back to a positive market, this is another, I guess, feather in the cap of, I don't even know if that's the correct term, but this is another data point that shows that the market is turning, that CGC thinks it's healthy enough to raise their prices. Now, will this be the same thing like they did last year, where they raised the prices and they fell flat in their face and then they lowered them again a few months later? Could be. I don't know. But just judging off the graphs and things, how more things are getting graded than before, leads me to believe that the market is turning, and this is another data point to prove that. Let me know what you think down below, if you think this is a turning point for the market, or at least somewhat of a turning point. Are we going to go back to 2021 levels? No. Get that out of your mind. That's never going to happen. But are we going to return to more normalcy, like 2019, 2018, 2020 even? Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to return to normalcy, and yeah, I think that's just the overall theme of 2025 will just be the return of normalcy. 2021 was crazy. That's not normal in more ways than one. But yeah, so let me know what you think about these prices. Let me know if there's any people out there that are selling stuff in general. If you've seen, prices increase, or even if it's in cards or VHS or whatever, if you're like a dealer and you've seen prices go up or more things moving than traditionally around this time, especially with the last given couple of years being downward trends. Have a great day.